Okay, g'day everybody. Targs here. Find me in the new UH60 community mod. I'm actually in a server at the moment, one of mine. This is one of my missions, and as you can see, we're sort of heading towards a pretty nasty looking sky. But let's get outside, have a bit of a look. I didn't really look at what I was putting together when I threw this in the mission, but yeah, I wanted the Red Cross skin. I didn't really want the pylons, but I forgot about them, and I didn't really want the refueling boom on the front of it either. But yeah, at the moment I'm at 10,700 barometric, and it didn't take me very long to get up here. Destination is the Burj Al Arab, which is just down there in front of us, and this is my first look at this version of it, so I don't have any real idea. I've been in here for long enough to get in the aircraft, get it started and get it up here, and then I thought, oh, I'll stream what I'm doing. So basically what I've got going on here is I'm actually going down at quite a rate of knots, because I need to get down. What we'll do is we'll have a bit of a look around here. Now I'll turn my frame rate counter on, getting 55 frames, 60 frames per second in here without any dramas. My specs are in the stream comments, so you'll be able to see what they are. It's not a slouch of a computer, it's no potato, but you know, Persian Gulf, the clouds are on ultra, everything's on ultra. It's pretty much, I fly in a, you know, what you could almost say a cinematic mode, and I quite enjoy that, the fact that I can. I could fly in a lower, with lower settings, but why? I've got a 3090. Why should I? That's my opinion. I spent that money to get the 3090 so that I could fly at ridiculous resolutions and with ridiculous settings turned on. Now I'm almost in free fall here at the moment because I want to get down. Now we've got the Burj Khalifa just below us there, and we're going to do a lap around the Burj Khalifa on the way down. As you can see, we're down at 7,500 already, and falling fast, kind of almost like a rock, but it's a controlled fall. As you can see, I've got like very little torque happening there. Torque is about 60%, and there's the Burj Khalifa, and we're going in a, gonna have to arrest the rate of fall there a little bit. Okay, and as the sun rises, we'll get shadows changing. You get more sun on the buildings, on the side of the buildings, and it's about 7 o'clock in the morning at the moment over the Gulf of Persian Gulf. I was going to say the Gulf of Carpentaria because that's pretty much the famous Gulf around me. I live in Australia. And you'll notice my frame rate has dropped a little bit. That's because we're getting a little bit closer to the ground, but it's still pushing around the 50 frames per second. Maybe not quite so when we're looking at the Burj Khalifa, but yeah. So now we're at a more manageable altitude. We'll turn the flight control system off a little bit, and we'll get ourselves heading across towards the Burj Al Arab. And I don't have the FPS turned on. And I can turn it on a bit. I can turn it on if you know, just to show what it does. I know, so that's totally hands-free. As you can see, it's fairly stable. It's climbing a little bit because I got a bit too much collective in there, but we'll arrest that climb. And because I've got the FPS system turned on and locked in, it's maintaining that climb. And we'll turn it off. And I've got very little collective pulled there at all. Probably about 10% of the collective, which pushes me to about 40 on the torque, 40% torque. And this is the very first time that I've tried to land anything on the Burj Al Arab for quite some time. I think the last time I tried to land anything on here was an F-18 when it first came out. No, I've landed the Huey when it first came out on here, and with its early flight model, it was not a pleasant task. You can believe me. Right. Now I want to arrest my ground speed. And we'll get down a little bit. I'm still doing about, well, I'm doing 73 miles per hour ground speed still. And as it transitions through different stages of lift, it's going to be as big a surprise for me as it is, because, well, last time I flew this helicopter was version 1.1, and I would say that would have been about 3 weeks ago when I last flew it. I think I flew it for about a day after 1.1 came out, and then I had to go off to do some work, in which case I actually go away to work, so I haven't had a chance to fly. But now that this version's out, I do plan to have a crack at this particular helicopter. And the RWR works. I mean, it was a hot start aircraft that I was in. No, it wasn't, it was a cold start. So it works from cold start now. So that's one of the things that was a real pain to start with. Okay, so we want to lose the airspeed without crashing into the Bergerarat. There's that's where I want to land on that. No, we're not on. Okay. We don't want to go in there. No, 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 no. Well, that was certainly not where I wanted to be. Okay, there it is over there. I'll have another crack at this. Actually need a windsock on the top of here so you know which way the wind's going. Something that's missing. I'd have to see if I can stick one in here on the mission editor. Move a bit further forward. Not exactly right place, but it's reasonable for a first crack at this particular version of the module. Really, I should be more in the center over there. There. That's a bit better. So yeah, anyway, aircraft is quite a nice aircraft to fly. So if we go through the process of shutting it down, we'll just wind those engines down, turn all of this stuff off. Right, and turn these engines down. Okay. I would have thought that there would have been, I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, but I would have thought there'd have been an engine brake that was a little bit more easy to find than this one. And there we go, park brakes on, at least we can't roll away. So well, I haven't even bound a key for the door yet, so I don't even remember how I shut the door. I know I did find the door before, but yeah, okay, adjust controls and go doors. No, just door. Okay, co-pilot's door. No, I want pilot's door. Open, close pilot's door. Let's go with keyboard C. Control C, and then we'll go co-pilot's door. Okay, co-pilot's door, we're going to reset that. We're going to clear that. Clear the combo, and we're going to go left Alt C. Right. Right hand cargo door. Control 4. Left 10. Is that, no, that's close. I want open close. Right cargo door. Control 4. And open close left. Control 3. And where's the gunner's doors? Open close gunner doors. Oh, it doesn't matter. They'll turn up. Right, so we'll go okay on that, and we'll go that one, so that'll open the two doors. We'll get the two back doors open as well. Right, so we'll have a look. There we go, we've got a clear cargo area in this one, no seats at all. Okay. And let me see, the model still sinks into the buildings. That's okay, I'm not worried about that. Okay, so let's get back into the seat, inside. Now what else do we need to bind? Oh yeah, this one here, we need that one bound, and I don't remember what it was, but it doesn't work on there now. So we'll go in here, adjust controls. Now let's see what we've actually still got bound. Okay, hook. Okay, all my hook stuff's still bound. Open, close pilot door. Well, we'll clear that because that's not going to be that. Landing light retract. No, they all need to be I've actually got the the UH60 control panel stick grip on my collective, so I know exactly what to put where, and they don't correspond to it at all. Okay, what do we got going on here? Right cargo door. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. That's not going there. Couple of rice burners out there having some theoretical fun. Okay, so that's the only one that stayed right on the collective side of things. The axes stayed good, so that's fine. So searchlight on off is this one here. Searchlight on off. Searchlight left. Searchlight right. Oop, my bad. Clear. Clear. So, and on off is in the wrong one, so there. Maybe some of these were right. Okay. Searchlight right. Searchlight left. Yep. Searchlight retract. Extend. Okay, we'll do the extend. That one. Retract. Right. Searchlight dim. Dim. Searchlight brighten. Okay, landing light. That's this one here. So, landing light on off. Extend. Retract. Okay, that's my lights. Yeah, what do we got there? Second STG, first STG. First and second stage. Don't remember what they were. Pedal left, pedal right. Okay. So anyway, won't worry about those at the moment, because that's all we really need to get this going. Right, so we'll get these blades to stop. Right, so I just pulled collective on them, so there was a bit of torque going on there. Righto, so engine stopped. Everything's off. So what we're going to do is, it's the same as before. We're going to turn that one on, that one on, that one on, that one on. And then we're going to turn that one on. Right, and there's our APU starting up. So then I'm going to add fuel to the right engine. and then up here there's a little button. I'm going to left click it for a couple of seconds. Right, and then I'm going to add mixture to it. Okay. I'm going to let that one build up, and what we'll do is we'll watch the temperatures over here, and the right engine temperature. Well, that's surprising, it's not going up very high, but they used to go right up into the red and then drop back down again. Right, we'll wait for it to stabilise. Clear the warnings. Okay, that's indicating low rotation. So now what we'll do is we'll put the fuel flow on. Hold this little button that's up here in for a few seconds. Now, if I go up here and look this way, you can actually see that button that I'm pressing, that one there. Right, and then we'll get this little lever and lift it over the top of the stops. Now that we've got the engines running, right, we'll just shut the doors and make it a little bit quieter in the front here. We'll leave the back doors open, as the back doors don't affect the noise at the moment, not yet. Alright, once the two of them stabilise, which they look like they're pretty close to being done, engines, the rotor speed is getting there. Okay, there's 630 each. Now I'll start slowly introducing throttle. Now I'm using the twist grip on my collective, which would be in this position here if it was, that was my collective. I have a Virpil Rotor Plus as my collective with the UH60 grip. Okay, so that's the engine started. So then we need to come over here and turn on the boost, SAS1, SAS2, trim. I'm going to leave that off, and auto control, we'll put that on as well. And then we'll turn on some radios, go to transmit, receive and transmit, and we'll get, oh, I left that one on. Right, we'll get that one on, that one on. Turn on those two, and that way I'll have the that thing there. This is the volume control over there for the audio on it. We'll turn it down a little bit because it's a little bit annoying. Right, so we'll turn those two on, and we'll come back to a seated position and see if, yeah, okay, that one's not bound anymore. So we'll go in here and we'll go HMD, I think it is, no. So what are they actually calling it in here? This button. AN, okay, AVS7. Okay, so AVS. Okay, so we want on off. Now go to the right stick. Right, now that's my on off button. And then we want brighten. So I'll go up on that same 3 position button, and then we want dim. I'll go down on that same 3 position button. So that's my heads up display, or my this, and I can bring it up bright, and I can step it down as well until it'll actually turn off. As you can see, it's gone, disappeared, but only because it was too dark, too dull to be seen. Makes it less obtrusive if you can turn it down. Okay, so then we need to, on the stick, you have the flight control system. So we'll go in here and we'll see which ones I've got bound. I've got none of those bound. Okay. Now I don't remember what it's actually called. Collective cyclic. We need to open that up. Trim release button, that's the one. So right stick, and we'll go like that. There's the trim release, and there we go. And what I might do is I might just put in a trim reset as well, which is just there, and that's the same button, but I just pull it towards me. So central position is off, forward is trim release, and towards me pulled in to the first stage is reset. So okay, now I've just pulled it towards me so it's reset, and I've got the trim release button engaged, or switch engaged, and as you can see it's very well behaved when you take off, and that was from a reset trim. Okay, so now I've got my trim release disengaged, and now I have the trim release set. So now I can get myself into a nice, well behaved flight. Alright, so we've dropped a couple of 100 feet from takeoff. Now I'm quite happy with that, the way that's flying at the moment. And all I've got to do now is I've set or turned off the trim release, and now I can fly this a little bit like an aeroplane. I don't have to do any rudder input, because that's all, I set that up before I released or let go of the trim release. And to turn, all we need to do is use stick movement. So I'm just leaning and pulling back. I'm not even adding collective or removing collective. So it's a very well behaved flight model, almost like an aeroplane, with the exception is that you can come to a hover. There's only one aeroplane in DCS that we know that can come to a hover, and that's not an easy plane to hover. At least I don't find it very easy. I don't find the Harrier that easy a plane to hover. There you go, we've got a train running down there. Now we're on our way past, up along the strip, main strip, don't know what it's called. We're on our way up there, and we've got the Burj Khalifa up there on our right, and if we keep going further forward we'll come to Abu Dhabi, I think it's Abu Dhabi airport, Dubai, sorry, my bad, not familiar with the names of the places here. And because I'm right in the guts of town, my frame rate is a little bit up and down, but with all the bells and whistles on, it's still flyable. And this is in multiplayer, so it is running on my server, so lag to my server is like 2, the ping. But it is an external computer that it's connected to and getting the mission data from. and it's very pretty. I actually like this. I like this map a lot. I do like the Syria map more, but yeah, I still like this one. I enjoyed flying on this map when it first came out and trying to fly my F-18 and stuff like that through different parts of the city. Like for instance, one of the places I tried to put my F-18 through, it was a given. I saw this opening and went, I'm going through it with my F-18, same as I've done there. There's also a I think it's called the Monterey or something like that, down the other side of where the Burj Al Arab is. That's got like a like the Taj Mahal as a cutout. There was another place that I put the put my F-18 through pretty much the day that first time I went flying here. And it's like I say, it's a very well behaved aircraft to fly. Okay, so where we're heading to is where that radio tower is. We'll just fly across the as low as we can across the flight path of the runways, across their approach or departure, depending on which way the wind's blowing. And I have no idea which way the wind's blowing on this mission, because I actually have a random I got a bit of code in here that sets the wind randomly, as in direction. It's always the same strength. It's not very strong, but yeah. This is where I originally took off from, so it's only natural that I come back to here eventually. And it's actually quite hard to get this thing to actually, it wants to fly. And I've got a really low amount of collective in order to get it to lose altitude. All we got to do is find one of them flags and be downwind of it and put our nose down in front of the flag, and that's, there we go, on the ground. All good. And that's, I'm going to call that a stream. That was my first impression. I like it. I think it's going to make flying, anybody that's flying around in this, I think it's going to make it really, really hard for them flying the AH64D, because I have a sneaking suspicion that the UH-64D is going to be a much more agile aircraft than what this one is. Not saying this is not agile, but it's very forgiving in the way that it flies and responds to inputs that you have. And I just think that if you're using this aircraft to learn to fly for the UH-64, I think you're doing yourself an injustice, because I don't think that it's the best aircraft to learn as a practice aircraft. But that remains to be seen, because as we all know,